You know, I never really cared for boosters in the game. I was always just like, nah, you know, if I get one from a login reward or if I get one from a sortie, that's fine. And every now and then I do buy them because affinity boosters save me a lot of time when making videos on weapons that need like 6 forma or sometimes even more. And I don't think people mind boosters in general because, well, it's Warframe, so you can just farm prime parts or some rare mods, you can sell them for platinum and then buy the boosters from the market yourself, even if you don't spend any money. But a lot of people got their tits in a twist over this new booster that's been added to the Prime Access Pack that's coming out tomorrow, which is going to be Atlas Prime, Techo Prime and Death Cube Prime, and it's the mod drop chance booster. Now, my initial reaction to the addition of this booster was, okay, it's a booster. Sure, why not? But as I've said, a lot of people dislike the addition of this mod drop chance booster. And I wanted to know why, because as I've said, I don't mind the idea of having a drop chance booster. So the first camp of people that dislike this booster dislike it because it's a part of Prime Access. It's gonna be one of the bonus accessories. And they feel ID is pushing people to buy Prime Access if they want to farm power. The main offender here being Condition Overload, which has a ridiculous low drop chance of 0.02%, which, to be honest, is just ridiculous. Now this one I think is coming from a place of, well, I had a shit time farming it, so you should have a shit time farming it as well, because otherwise it's not fair. How do I know that? Well, because it happens every single time they make anything easier, right? Whenever they make a resource easier to farm, or a weapon or a frame easier to get, people are angry because they spend the time already, and now people don't have to spend as much time and they don't like it. The thing here though is that it's not really a problem with the booster itself. It's a problem with the ridiculously low drop chance on Condition Overload, and other similar mods that have ridiculously low drop chances. The booster is just another nudge that gives people a reason to be angry over it. But it's bollocks, it's an overreaction, because you know what's the fastest way of farming Condition Overload? Not farming Condition Overload. Because if you really want to get Condition Overload, you're gonna crack open some relics, sell the prime parts, and then buy Condition Overload from either the trade chat if you're crazy enough to sift through it, or from Warframe Market. Or, you know, just skip the cracking the relics part and just buy platinum and use that platinum to buy Condition Overload. Which, by the way, would also mean that the game has been pay to win the entire time. Or, you know, since the trading update. And I can already hear someone typing, "Oh my god, ADE White Knight, look at him," and laugh. And I'm here to tell you that it's not gonna work, because I know what you're doing. You're choosing the path of least resistance. Instead of coming up with an argument and actually defending your opinions, you're just throwing a label at me and you're hoping that idiots that don't know what's going on will just rally behind you because they recognize the label you just threw on me. So just don't bother, okay? Either come up with something that makes sense or go away. But anyway, let's get back to it. What is the difference between buying this pack and getting the booster and using that to farm a mod and using money to buy platinum to then buy that mod? Because here's the thing, primed accessories are 50 bucks, 50 bloody bucks. That is 1,000 platinum, and you can buy Condition Overload for like 60 to 100. So is it really that much different? Because I don't think so. The second group of angry people is far more understandable, at least for me that is, because they're angry that DE just now introduced this mod drop chance booster after nerfing the farming interactions between things like Desecrate, Chesecrate and all the Pilfer mods, so that you can't just Desecrate, Chesecrate and Pilfer the same enemy. You can only do one. And this one? Honestly, I can get behind this. I can get my tits in a twist over that because it makes sense. Right? Why would you want to nerf the amount of loot we get by running interesting synergistic squads and then turn around and slap in a mod drop booster? That makes no sense, right? If they were to only do one or the other, sure. But why at first reduce the amount of loot we can get and then conveniently introduce a paid way for us to get more? That smells fishy. So while I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt for now, I am going to do it with a slightly suspicious look on my face, kind of like, right. You know what I mean. Then there is a third group of angry people, and those are angry for the exact opposite reason to the first group. They don't think this booster does enough. And this is why this entire situation is a bit of a cluster truck, because some people are angry because they think it's too good and it's gonna be paid to win. Some people are angry because they don't think it's good enough and they're calling it worthless. Some people are angry because it's exclusive to the Prime Access, which is not the case. Rebecca said that it's not going to be exclusive to the Prime Access. They're gonna introduce it in other ways. And some people are angry because it's been introduced in a little bit too convenient of a time after they nerfed farming. But anyway, let's talk about the group of people that don't think it's good enough and they're calling the booster worthless because they have a one good point and one not so good point. The good point is, well, it's a drop chance booster, so it's not gonna work on things like rewards, like duostat mods from spies and sabotage missions, or any mod reward you get at the end of the mission, or even things like acolyte mods. And I feel that that's fair enough, because a lot of the really good things, like duostat mods, or even the acolyte mods, will not be affected by it. But the second point is not quite as good, in my eyes, because it basically just says, well, it doesn't guarantee you anything, right? You might buy it, you might farm a mod, and you still might not get it, because if something like Condition Overload has, 0.02% chance, it's only gonna bump it up to 0.04% chance. And while that might not sound like a lot, because those are very small numbers, it is. Because if you do a little bit of math over here, if you have something with a 0.02% drop chance, you are nearly guaranteed to get it after 23,024 kills. If, however, we do the same bit of quick maths over here with a 0.04% chance to drop, you are nearly guaranteed to get it after about 11,511 runs. It makes sense, does it not? You only have to kill about half as many enemies to get it, which, is what the booster says. It doubles the chance of dropping mods. But it's very easy to color it your own way, and just say this doesn't do anything, it just takes it from 0.02 to 0.04. That's nothing, where in reality, it's actually quite something, and that's why this point doesn't resonate with me. The first one though, about it not working on rewards and acolyte mods and that kind of stuff, that's fair enough. So ultimately, I think this is just a bit of an overreaction. I mean, it's just a mod drop booster, and while some of the points are valid, it doesn't warrant a response like this, I don't think, because people are literally just like, oh mamma mia, and fainting theatrically. So I don't think it's all because of this one booster that's been added to Prime Access and maybe into the game later on. I think it's more about people just being tense and ready to jump the gun because they're not happy with what's happening, which at the moment isn't an awful lot, right? Nightwave Season 2 is pretty much over for most people that have been doing it every week, and we're kind of waiting for Railjack. That's it. We are gonna get Atlas and Tekko and Deathcube Prime, which is quite neat. I'm kind of curious to see if Deathcube Prime will actually survive some of the later game levels and doesn't get obliterated with a single shot. But Atlas Prime is just, well, Atlas with a fancy paint job and slightly higher stats, and I don't know if Tekko Prime will have some unique mechanic. Hopefully it will. Now, I'm not saying that we should never criticize anything that they do. We should do it loud and clear, but I don't think it's worth this time around because it's just a mod drop booster. And I really don't think it's gonna be as big of a deal as some people think. But anyway, I think I've been rambling for long enough, so I thank you very much for watching. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section down below and we can talk about it. And I will see you some other time. Bye bye.